The Ferndale Golden Eagles feature a lightning quick wing T running attack. The Lynden Lions feature a lightning quick passing attack. Hi again, I'm Chris Harper. This is Comcast On Demand Varsity Sports, and we've got a great show for you tonight. Two top 5 ranked teams. We've got the best rivalry in Whatcom County. Hey, one of the best rivalries in the state, and we have a house here at Raleigh-Coster Field. So let's get right over to Gabe Myers for the keys to the game.
Thanks, Chris. Down here on the field, I had an opportunity to talk to both coaches prior to the game, and this is what they had to say about their keys to the victory. First, for the Ferndale Golden Eagles, they control the clock with their potent run offense. Number 2, they need to create a few turnovers. And number 3, they need to match Lynden's emotion tonight. It's homecoming for Lynden, and this is a team that Ferndale hammered last year. It's a huge revenge factor for the Lynden Lions. Control the emotion. They're going to come fired up very early. They need to sustain that for the entire game. Number 2, eliminate their mistakes and play for 4 quarters. And number 3, they want to get the edges with what they think are the superior athletes. So there you have your 3 keys to the game. Let's go back upstairs to Chris for the starting lineups.
All right, let's get tonight's starting lineups. First for the Ferndale Golden Eagles when they have the ball. The quarterback is Casey Locker. The backs are Jake Ritter, Brady Locker, and Corbin Byers. Carl Travenschik is the tight end. The wide receiver is Nick Golbranson. Steven Stromerson is the center. The guards are Mitchell Johnson and Kyle Harbine. And tackles Ethan Lifeheight and Jane Honeycutt. For the Lynden Lions on defense, up front, the nose guard is Ross Rennick. The tackles are Kyle Hoffbauer and Joshua Duggan. The linebackers, 4 across for Lynden, Landon Vanderhoof, Luke Cordice, Taylor Creighton, and Kyle Gunst. The cornerbacks are Dirk Dallas and Chaz Koch. The strong safety is Blair Bomber, and the free safety, Brady Bomber. It's the Ferndale Golden Eagles and the Lynden Lions coming up. We'll be right back with the kickoff after this. Varsity Sports on Comcast On Demand.
Get Local On Demand captures the essence of Northwest living. Connect to your community with local personalities.
Yeah, I'm going to improve your looks here, Joe.
Cultural and artistic festivals. Favorite time-honored events and more. Plus, learn the secrets of your favorite local chefs with cooking shows on demand. Local programming on your schedule. Just press On Demand on your digital remote, then get local. Only with Comcast Digital Cable.
And here we go, we're underway. Ferndale to return the opening kickoff, and they hand it off to Casey Locker along the far sideline to the 30, cuts back inside at the 40, and he's down at the 45-yard line. So Ferndale with great field position to start the game.
A lot of familiar names out here on the field tonight, Chris. The first one is going to be one you're going to be saying a lot, Locker. Everybody knows about the spectacular season that Jake Locker had last year, taking his Ferndale Golden Eagles to back-to-back state championship games and prevailing last year. Of course, Jake is now at the UW, but 2 of his cousins, Casey and Brady, will carry the bulk of the running plays. This spread wing T they come out in.
Shotgun formation, Casey Locker after the fake handoff, tackled from behind. Great play by Lynden's Joshua Duggan.
Duggan just shot right through the gap from the backside play was going away from him. Great penetration. It's going to be a loss on the play. Neither team, Chris, is all that huge. Certainly not the same size that the Golden Eagles had last year across their front line, and they lost a ton from last year's championship team.
Lost 13 starters. Although a lot of the backups last year got significant time because of all the blowout wins they had. 2nd and 11, double handoff. There's Corbin Byers trying to find his way through the Lion defense. And Lynden did not bite on the first handoff, and Byers gains 4 yards out to the 47-yard line, setting up 3rd and long.
So maybe a gain of 4, 5. They're giving him 6 yards. I guess they gave him a nice spot. Lynden's pretty physical on defense. They've got some good athletes. Again, not such great size up front necessarily, but a ton of 2- and 3-sport stars out there for the Lions. We'll get a moment.
See if the Eagles put it up on 3rd and 8. Casey rolling near side, under pressure. Down he goes. 2 Lions get him. It was Lynden's Kyle Hoffbauer, along with, I believe that was Landon Vanderhoof. So Lynden reading it well on this opening drive, pushing the Eagles back to their 38.
Really looked like he didn't have any intention of passing once he got outside the box. Tried to tuck it quickly. Maybe only had 1 man in the pattern out there and pulls it down. Nice return. They go backwards 3 out of to 4 plays. Now, fumble.
Low snap, and they got to run for it now. Walker's not going to get there, and the Lions are going to have great field position at the Ferndale 39-yard line. The low snap started that play, broke it all up, and now the Lions take over.
Chris, there's so much emotion here tonight in this rivalry game. Both schools located about 13 miles away from each other up here in the what used to be the Whatcom County League, but I guess the Northwest. Both schools played in different leagues. I remember playing against Lynden when they were 1A way back in the day, but of course both teams were schools last year, and I have to say Ferndale hammered Lynden last year.
62-14. Stephen Johnson is the back with quarterback Chris Bolt. Lynden loves to throw. First down 10 from the 39. No score, we're just underway. Fake handoff, Bolt rolling out, looking downfield, nobody open, so he takes off. He's popped from behind hard by Ferndale's Mitchell Johnson, number 74, one of their standouts on the line.
Johnson is a player to watch as a junior last year. He was one of their best defensive players for a team that was loaded with very, very good defensive players. That's really saying something. And he is garnering some serious attention from Division I schools, we're told. A little undersized for a defensive lineman, but he can always put on some pounds. He's a terrific player. And look at this, 4 wide receivers in the set.
3 of them left side for quarterback Chris Bolt. But they'll hand it off to Johnson. Here comes Stephen Johnson, pushing his way to the 30-yard line. So after the 5-yard gain by Bolt, 4 more by Johnson here, and the Lions looking at a 3rd and 1.
Same look as on the first down play where they had Johnson lined up right next to Bolt, and they faked the handoff to him on first down. Then Bolt kept it, was looking to pass and scramble. This time puts it in the belly, and he kind of waits and watches and sees what the defensive line does. Ends up giving it to him, a little bit option look, if you will, and he takes for a nice gain, setting up a 3rd down and short here.
Now Lynden Vanderhoof, the back at Bolt's side. He's more of a fullback type. This 3rd down, about a foot to go. They give it to Vanderhoof. He's got the first down, stumbling toward the 20-yard line. Lynden Vanderhoof, he's got the size, 6'2", 195-pound senior.
Looks like a gain of about 8, trying to get 1.5 yards, pick up 8. Gotta be happy with that. And watch as Lynden does not go to the huddle. Instead, they do this site that's all too familiar these days. It used to be just Skyline that ran it, but we've seen a number of teams already this year that are employing this spread look where they have all the receivers and skill players, if you will, looking over the sideline, getting the plays. Of course, the line knows they're either blocking, run blocking, or pass protect.
1st and 10 from the Ferndale 21. No score in the game. Deep drop by Bolt. Pressure coming. Screen pass set up. Looking good. Vanderhoof inside the 15-yard line. Tackled by Ferndale's Kyle Harbine. Nice looking play there. They gained, let's call it 7. And they're at the Ferndale 14. Nice set up screen pass.
A little bit of pressure there, but it's that false kind of pressure where the defensive end immediately thinks, oh, great shot on the quarterback, but they want him running in like that because it opens up that hole where they can pull those line out for the screen. Good looking play. Looking drive here early. It always helps to get such great field position on your first drive. Look at all the Lions looking back to the sideline.
The great field position came after the botched punt at the 14. Low snap, handoff to Vanderhoof. The play slow and developing, but now Vanderhoof breaks free, and he's in! Touchdown, Lynden! Vanderhoof from 14 yards. That all started with a low snap, like Bolt had trouble handling it and getting the ball in a position to even give it to Vanderhoof right there. And then Lynden hit, got away from that waist-high tackle, breaks through, and a 14-yard touchdown run to put the Lions ahead 6-0. Now Chris Bolt drops back to kick the extra point. Dirk Dallas is the holder. Snap perfect, and the kick is also perfect. 7:09 left to go in the first quarter, and Lynden takes advantage of the short field. They cash it in and lead it 7-0.
Yeah, really everything on that drive going their way, all positive yardage, even the little bit of a snap there resulted in a touchdown. Bolt does a nice job to not only catch the ball, but as his tailback was moving beyond him, get it into his hands. A little bit of a low handoff, but got to be thrilled with the way this game starts if you are a Lynden fan. And there are a ton of Lynden Lion fans here. Look at all the kids surrounding us at every level of youth football, all out in their green and gold jerseys. The entire track is ringed with fans. Ferndale representing as well on the far sideline, looking good. But very impressive up here where they love their high school sports, whether it's football season or basketball. Of course, Lynden had a terrific run last year into the 3A tournament down at the Cumberland Dome, knocking off a couple of very talented teams. And we saw Chris Bolt, the man who's playing quarterback, and a little bit of safety. And here he's kicking off, and he kicked the extra point. Chris Bolt starred on the hardwood last year at the Cumberland Dome. One game that we covered, Comcast On Demand, pulled down 19 boards. Bolt and Bomber, Dallas, Chas Cox, all those players part of that terrific basketball program up here as well, and they have got to be the favorites to win the 2A basketball crown. Right now, they're thinking about getting past this one, a huge rivalry game. Cannot overstate how important it is to both teams.
Locker and Locker back to receive the kick. Casey and Brady. It goes to Casey at the 11. They hand it off last time. They do it again. Here comes Brady across the 20. Another great return down the sideline, 40, and out to midfield. The Ferndale return game working some magic. They love to hand it off, and when they don't, they love to fake it. And it always keeps the other team on edge. Ferndale's been doing this for years.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that every time, doesn't matter, every time they field it, they always run that look. So the defense has to prepare for it, and sometimes they'll keep it, sometimes they'll hand it off. Just depends on where the wall is at.
Eagles set up at the 49-yard line. Inside handoff, there goes Richard. Lots of yardage on this one. Deep into the secondary and down at about the 30-yard line. That's Jake Richard getting his first call of the night, and he takes it 21 yards.
Nice little run there, cutting to the outside. Richard, not a large player at all. It looked like he got a little bit of contact right at the line of scrimmage. 5'7", 170, a senior. Again, Chris, I think you said it best. They didn't return a lot of starters, but all of these players played a ton because Ferndale was inevitably during the regular season and even in the playoffs up huge in their games.
From the 29-yard line, first down. Casey Locker, the quarterback, hit low, and he goes down. The tackle made by Lynden's Luke Cordice.
And again, we're going to see a ton of that from the quarterback. The ball is snapped to him in the shotgun, and it's really Casey's decision whether he wants to run right or run left. This time he keeps it, picked up about 5 yards, so that will work. They're not going to throw the ball the way they did last year with a talented quarterback like Jake Locker, who could throw the ball 70 yards in the air, but they'll set it up carefully, and one of these times when he's in the shotgun, instead of running to his right, he'll step back and loft the pass.
2nd and 5, Jake Richard bottled up, it goes. Not much there. Midway through the first quarter, it's Lynden 7, Ferndale nothing. Ferndale being out on their first drive and then couldn't get a punt off. Lynden took over at about the Golden Eagle 39 and quickly moved in for the score. Gain of 1 by Richard, so 3rd and 4.
Yeah, big third down here early in this game. Certainly too far away to try a long field goal, so you want to get this first down so you don't have to get into that 4th down situation. And coaches hate making that decision.
They give it to the second man, Brady Locker. He's got the first down and more, still on his feet. Brady Locker, the senior Locker, taking it deep into Lynden territory. All the way down to the 8-yard line, a 15-yard gain.
Yeah, big gain at 15 yards. And again, the first contact was just past the line of scrimmage. Bounces off that tackle and gets it down. See him cut to the outside. That's kind of an ankle tackle that he stepped out of. And how about Locker lowering his shoulder and carrying 3-4 Lions with him? Both Casey and Brady have nothing like the size that their cousin Jake had. Jake was just a physical specimen on the high school field. These two are undersized, but very, very physical players themselves.
Quarterback draw, Casey Locker near the goal line, and he is in. Touchdown Ferndale, and it's 7-6. Casey Locker calling his own number from the 8.
So we talked about he gets the ball and runs right. This time he runs left. A nice hole opens up for Casey, and he shows a little bit of Locker power, getting into the end zone, just has to cross the goal line. And everybody told me this was a defensive struggle, that these teams would be out here just hammering each other and offenses wouldn't put up points. And I said, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Gabe Olivo for the extra point. It is up, and we are tied. 4:43 left to go in the first quarter. It's Lynden 7, Ferndale 7.
Great job by Ferndale to answer. Again, they botch the punt and give the Lions the ball on their side of the field. Lions do nothing but tromp right down, score immediately. Ferndale gets a nice return. Always great to get that emotion going on the kicking game where you get out there near midfield, take over at the 49, and they cash in. Very short drive, so both teams looking pretty good here early. Talked about it in our 3 keys to the game segment. Both teams need to control their emotion. They're both sky high now, having scored early touchdowns. It's homecoming night for Lynden, so there's that added element. And of course, if you're Lynden, you're playing the defending 3A state champions who are riding an 18-game winning streak. And oh, by the way, we mentioned it, put 60+ on the board against you last year. So the revenge factor also sky high. So these teams need to sustain it all the way through all 4 quarters so they have something left in the tank at the end of the game. It's very easy at the high school level, at any level of football, which is such an emotional game, to just kind of burn up all the gas in the first quarter when you're really pumped up.
So Lynden had the lead for 2 minutes and 26 seconds. That Ferndale drive all on the ground from midfield in. And now the Eagles to kick it off. A low liner of a kick, and it bounces into the hands of Blair Bomber. He's a freshman heading toward the near sideline. He's got some room near the 40 and bounced out of bounds. Great kickoff return, and how about that? A freshman, Blair Bomber, his brother Brady, also on the team. Brady's a junior.
Love seeing the freshman contribute. How about the speed as he gets to the outside, breaks it down the sideline, and both teams having great success in the return game. Remember, Ferndale started both of their drives out past the 40, one at the 49, one at about the 41, and this time it's got Lynden spotted down at the 40-yard line as well. So great return in the special teams.
4:34 left to go in the first quarter. It's a 7-7 game. Chris Bolt checking over toward the sidelines from the shotgun. Quick pass. Chaz Cock at the other end, and he's taken down at the 45-yard line. Nice 5-yard pickup, taking advantage of the cornerback playing off of the receiver.
2 great matchups to watch here when Lynden is on offense. Wide receivers, Chaz Cock, 6'5", another basketball player, very talented, number 88. And on the far side, number 47, Dirk Dallas. And who's guarding these 2 players? None other than the Locker brothers. So 4 of the best athletes on the field going head-to-head every time.
Second down, 5. Fake handoff to Johnson. Bolt rolling to his right, going deep downfield. Caught by Dirk Dallas inside the Ferndale 40-yard line.
How about the delivery from Bolt? Because they had the receiver, Dallas, bracketed. We'll see if we get a look at this one. Dallas runs a deep out pattern, and they had the outside linebacker, number 33, slide over. We see Bolt rolling, and watch the delivery. A bullet right on the money. There you see a good shot of number 33 ahead of Dallas, and of course, Locker, Casey Locker behind him, but the pass is thrown right between the 2 defenders on the money.
16 yards, 1st and 10 from the 39. Double handoff. Here comes near side. Blair Bomber trying to use that speed, but he runs out of real estate, and he's taken down for a loss of 5.
Ferndale with a couple of nice pops there. One of the defenders got into the backfield and just completely disrupted that. It really had no chance of developing, even with the freshman Bomber's great speed. He was lucky to pick up any positive yard. Spot the ball at the 43-yard line, so second down and pretty long, about 2nd and 14, I'm guessing.
3 minutes left to go, first quarter. We're tied at 7. Bolt takes the snap on 2nd and 14, looking deep, throws to the sideline, caught by Brady Bomber. He's got the first down. He's inside the 25-yard line.
Zone coverage there as Brady Bomber runs a short out about 7-8 yards down and out. And Dirk Dallas had run a much deeper dig route where he goes down and sits at about 20 yards. And both of the defenders, almost 3 defenders actually, went with the deeper route run by number 47, Dirk Dallas. There we get a good look at Mr. Bomber, who was the starting point guard on that very successful basketball team here. Love to see this too at the high school level. These players competing in multiple sports in this age of specialization where you've got a Travis Snyder, we talked about on the trip up here, who only played baseball.
Johnson carrying on first down, gains 2. That play to Brady Bomber gained 20 yards on a 2nd and 14.
Sorry to finish that thought. Last year, Jake Locker, of course, one of the top quarterbacks in the country, played basketball, and then, of course, played baseball. In fact, was a very, very good baseball player. Thankfully, I think, for most of us who like University of Washington football, he decided to take his act to Montlake. But I love seeing the kids play year-round in different sports.
2nd and 8 from the 21. Option, Bolt keeping. Cuts back inside, zigzagging his way to the Ferndale 10-yard line. First down yardage for Chris Bolt. He gains 11.
And Chris Bolt has drawn a little bit of comparison to Jake Locker. I don't think he's nearly as fast. He's actually a little bit taller. Better basketball player too. But Chris Bolt's actually being looked at as a quarterback by a number of Pac-10 schools. He's got a very strong arm. So obviously you can see he's got good mobility. We know what he can do on the hardwood. They also like him as a wide receiver as well. One of those athlete types players.
First and goal from the 10. Johnson gets down to the 4. Steven Johnson has Lynden really mixing up their plays nicely here in the late stages of the first quarter in a 7-7 ball game.
But for that botched double handoff or reverse, if you will, to the younger bomber, every play on this drive been, again, for positive yardage. That time right up the middle, not too fancy about that. And again, they stay in this 4-receiver set. All 5 receivers and the tailback and the quarterback looking back to the sideline.
Second and goal from the 4. Handoff to Vanderhoof. No, it's a Bolt keeper toward the corner, and he is in. Touchdown Lions. Chris Bolt keeping and slicing his way into the end zone from 4 yards out, and Lynden leads it 13-7.
There you got to see Chris Bolt doing his Jake Locker imitation. Let's just keep it and run somebody over. Dive into the end zone. Big number 18 is pretty long and lanky. Watch as he just tucks under left arm and lowers the shoulder. Gets into the end zone. Nice shot there by Kevin Farmer. Camera 2. All of our Comcast on-demand shooters bringing the sights and sounds up here.
Now Bolt drops back for the extra point. He puts it through, and with 1:06 left to go in the first quarter, Lynden adding to the fireworks tonight. They now lead it 14-7. And Gabe, that is one of my very favorite things about high school football, when the guy who scores drops back to kick the extra point. Love that. I
kicks
love
the
it.
extra point, kicks off. You know, and last year was playing some really great safety. I haven't seen him out there on defense yet this year. He's very important to what they do on offense. Again, I mentioned the recruitment of Mr. Chris Bolt. I had a chance to dine with his father in the parking lot. One of my favorites about high school football is the hospitality that you're shown at the high school facilities. And Mr. Bolt had us over for a little salmon sandwich and also a steak sandwich. And, well, I ate a lot of stuff there. But that's beside the point. And I was just talking about his son, the 6'5" senior Chris, and what kind of attention he's been getting from coaches at the college level. He's heard from a ton of schools, about 45 schools, and a number of Pac-10 schools. Again, some like him as a safety, some wide receiver, and some as a quarterback.
The Locker boys back to receive. No fake handoff or handoff this time. It's just Casey Locker sliding into second base at the 5-yard line. Again, a good return. The third one that Ferndale's had tonight, and they put it in play at the 35, trailing 14-7. Final minute, first quarter.
Sorry to try to jump in there. I was going to mention that the grass up here is obviously natural grass, and the slope of the field is something very interesting. It rolls from the center down to the sidelines, and it's one of these facilities where they need the water to roll off the field. So when you're on the sideline, if you're one of the players and you're looking across at the other side, you say you're Lynden looking at Ferndale, you're going to look at their kneecaps because you can't see about the first 6 inches. A pretty big slope on this one, and it's going to get a little slick as the dew point gets here, and we're told we might have serious fog. Although I got to say, Chris, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous night, a beautiful late Indian summer we're having up here in the Northwest. This whole week has just been fabulous.
Kirk Ramey right there, the Lynden coach, meeting with his team. There's the scene here at Raleigh DeCoster Field in Lynden. And you know, Gabe, you were talking about kids playing multiple sports, and I think the kids on both sides here can look at recent graduates and know that you don't have to specialize, because Ferndale has an NFL player kicking for the Atlanta Falcons, Mike Kanan. He played multiple sports. And the Lynden Lions had a quarterback who's also in the pros as a baseball pitcher, Ty Taubenheim, who's pitching for the Toronto Blue for the first time this year, and he also played basketball, so he was a 3-sport guy. And
yeah, I mentioned Travis Snyder from Jackson, and of course he graduated last spring and signed a very lucrative contract to play pro baseball. He decided not to play football, and I think, you know, he may look back 30, 40 years from now and regret it.
Wing tee set, they hand off to Jake Richard, and he's to the 36, a gain of just 1.
Then again, he has 3 million reasons maybe not to regret it. He was the 11th pick in the draft, but how about Kawika Emsley Pye, a terrific safety and wide receiver for Jackson High School, and Jackson got off to a very slow start after being picked up near the top of the Wesco. as a terrific baseball player, just signed with the University of Texas, we found out this week. And he's been cleared to play, and he decided to go out and help his teammates in football.
On 2nd and 9, Casey Locker keeping, and he takes a hard shoulder from Lynden's Taylor Creighton. So now the Eagles looking at 3rd and long. And they've not put the ball in the air yet. Casey Locker, a starting quarterback who's a sophomore, although the one pass he threw last year, he can for a touchdown. But we'll find out what Ferndale does on 3rd and 7. When we come back from Raleigh DeCoster Field in Lynden, we've got fans circling all the way around the track here tonight. Great scene, and Lynden leads it 14-7 on Varsity Sports on Comcast On Demand.
Comcast Varsity Sports presents the Varsity News Gridiron Review. Every Wednesday night all season long, the Varsity News will bring you highlights from around the state. With plays and players of the week, TVN's Gridiron Review is the source for high school football coverage. The Varsity News is available to Comcast digital cable subscribers every Wednesday after 6 p.m. Follow all the action along the road to Tacoma on the Varsity News.
This month on Comcast On Demand, it's back. The Bite of Seattle. Rock out with your favorite original artists and check out backstage interviews with your exclusive VIP pass. Laugh until it hurts as local comedians perform their comedy shtick. And be amazed by the wild and wacky talents of your fellow Northwesterners. Local music, comedy, and talent. More examples of what's available to you free on demand exclusively on Comcast Digital Cable.
Some of the fans here at Raleigh DeCoster Field in Lynden. Lions lead 14-7. Ferndale ball, 3rd and 7 from their 37. Throwing for the first time, maybe. Casey under pressure. The other way, now he lets it fly. Caught by his brother Brady, who eludes a tackler. And still on his feet, spinning and twisting, and very close to that first down marker at the 45-yard line.
Wow, how impressive was that? Casey scrambling, he decides to run at the last minute. He doubles back and has the wherewithal to find Big Bro, who turns it into a positive gain. And you know, one of the most impressive things about that play was no flag. So many times you see one of the offensive linemen throw a block in the back when you double back on the flow of traffic there, but he delivers the pass. Brady picks up the yardage, good enough for a first down. So first pass of the game for Casey is a completion, albeit on a mad scramble. How about the determination from both Locker boys? Such a great football family.
8-yard gain gives them a first down, and not much on this one. Now 8 yards on that last play, but they ran it 48 to get there.
We mentioned the size difference between Casey and Brady and their older cousin Jake. Jake was a 6'2", 6'3", 215-pounder. You see the end of the tackle. Both the Lockers on the field tonight, 5'10". I'm guessing they're about 170 pounds. They're listed at 175 and 170. So for such small stature, there's great heart out there for number 23 and number 24.
Ferndale down 14-7, 2nd and 9. Casey Locker tackled from behind by Lynden's Landon Vandehoof.
It's an interesting offense they've got going here because Casey handles the ball probably 60% of the time. He's either going to roll out and make a decision whether to run or to throw or keep it himself by design. And, you know, that time you see not even really a ball fake. He just steps back, takes a look, tries to find a hole between the right center and right guard, and then darts through it and picks up some positive yardage. He's very quick.
He gained 3 on that play. Now 3rd down and 6 near midfield. Casey hands it off. Fumble. Richard had it, lost it, and no signal yet.
Big call here.
It is Lynden football as they recover the fumble near midfield.
The longest wait. Everybody in the stadium knew whose ball it was. The entire Lynden defense is almost off the field, and then finally the official gets done waving his hands and signals we're going the other way. So the first big break, actually the second if you count the punt.
Right, that botched snap on the punt. Not really a turnover, but effectively it was like one.
This one's very big, right at midfield, and giving a very potent offense the ball back with a short field to work with. That's danger.
Lynden trying to add to their 14-7 lead. 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. That's Blair Bomber in motion. They hand it off to Steven Johnson, and he's hit low and taken down by Ferndale's Kyle Harbine, number 53.
Again, kind of a strange look there in that Bolt has his eyes in the defensive secondary. Harbine comes, or the running back comes through, and he puts it in his belly and kind of takes a look at the defense and decides to give it to him, pull it back out, and drop back the ball. So the receivers had actually run patterns downfield.
No gain on that play. Kind of like the play they scored on. Here's Bolt throwing. Pass caught by Brady Bomber, and he got a nice block, but Ferndale's Jordan Krim read the play well, made a good tackle on Bomber, and it goes for a gain of 4.
Krim did a nice job of wrapping up there. Dirk Dallas, who was the outside receiver, came back into a pretty good block. And they were lucky that that one didn't get sprung for a longer gain. See the look, and brings up a 3rd down and 7. A big 3rd down for Ferndale's defense. They would love to get off the field here, force the first punt of the night for Lynden.
14-7, Lynden leads. Bolt throws. Bomber again along the sideline, pushed out of bounds by the Golden Eagles' Max Hanna. And let's see where they mark this one. 8:49 left to go before halftime. Lynden has scored on their last 2 drives. Well, both drives that they've had tonight.
I think they're going to be
lead 14-7.
Sorry, Chris. I think they're going to be a little bit short from our vantage point. And I've got to say that this is, so far, we're in, week 5 now of the season of Comcast On-Demand Varsity Sports. And I would say this is our most unique vantage point yet. So a little challenging for us to see exactly where that's at. Typically, we're somewhere at or near the 50-yard line. We are located on approximately, well, I'm on about the 22-yard line to the left there for you viewers. Chris is about the 21. And hey, we might actually get on TV. Look at this. We're up in a scissor lift.
Well, they're short by a good yard.
Yeah.
And so this will bring up a 4th and 1 around the Ferndale 40-yard line. Well, Gabe, how many games we doing this year, man?
55 games.
Hello, everybody in TV land.
55 football games this year.
Okay, 55 games. I think it's fair to say that we will have probably 45 different broadcast positions throughout the year.
Well, we know we're going to some doubles. We're going to head to Auburn Memorial Stadium a couple times as we tease some of the games in week 7 and 9. Auburn Riverside, we're trying to line that one up for week 9, shuffle the schedule for that great matchup. But as we come back here, we've got a nice vantage point, nobody obstructing us. We're just on a little bit of a rickety scissor lift, kind of a little motion here. No earthquakes up here, I hope.
4th down and 1 from the Ferndale 42. Bolt checking things over from the shotgun. A long count. Now 5 seconds left on the play clock. Vanderhoof gets in position. And they snap it at the last second. Vanderhoof hit from the side.
No.
And tackled by Mitchell Johnson. Ferndale celebrating.
Johnson's too tough there. He just completely dominates his man at the line of scrimmage. Almost comes up. I think they're going to...
Ferndale football. They hold Lynden at the 42.
They don't even measure. He didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And I'm very surprised, Chris, that they didn't put Chris Bolt under center. The kid's 6'5", let him snap it. He needed to get about a foot, maybe less.
A yard.
It was a full yard. Okay. So watch his, the shotgun situation. And, yeah, when their best defensive player is unblocked, it makes it look pretty easy for Mitchell Johnson there. So either a blown assignment or, again, it would have been nice to see the quarterback go under center, grab it, and just sneak it himself.
So Ferndale lost a fumble, but gets it right back on downs. Now from their own 42-yard line. Trailing 14-7 with 8:47 left to go in the half. Casey Locker sets up shop. Throw in deep, looking for Brady. Overthrown, incomplete. Dirk Dallas and Brady Bomber on the coverage for the Lions.
Such great names on the Lynden Lions team. Dirk Dallas and Brady Bomber, the alliteration.
Chris Bolt.
Props to the parents there for doubling up BB and DD and Chris Bolt. It was fun calling the ball games. See if we can break out one of those. We look at Casey Locker dropping back and throwing it just about as far as he can, and it's a little too far for Big Bro, but Chris Bolt, the bolt of lightning, the thunderbolt. Should have saved that, I guess, for later. Well, I can always dig it out again.
2nd down, 10. Ferndale at their 42-yard line. Corbin Byers, not much room for him to run. And the Eagles now looking at a 3rd and long.
Yeah, not their strong suit this year, the 3rd and long situation with the prolific passer, Jake Locker. You know, you could drop Jake back last year, let him survey the field, and if he didn't see anything he liked, he could just take off and run over 3 or 4 defenders on his way to a long gallop. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in a true passing situation here on a 3rd and 9 around midfield. Going to spread the offense out a little bit. A tight end and 2 wide receivers out to the left.
And Holsey, the tight end. Locker being chased, jump pass, caught by the end on the other side, and he's wrestled down. That was Ferndale's Carl Travenschek, number 88, making the catch at the 49-yard line. This will be short of the first down marker, but would have been an interesting situation here with 4th down and a long 2 to go.
Yeah, Dirk Dallas comes up and makes the hit, and I think collectively most of us were thinking, okay, great hit coming, but Travenschek is a big option for Ferndale from the tight end position. Number 88 got a ton of time last year on offense and defense. 6'2", 210, sustains the hit, keeps his legs moving. So a 4th down situation, and I think this is a good decision. Coach Plankovich going to punt this one away and try to make Lynden go the length of the field for once.
They might punt it away. They had a fake last week, and here goes Brady throwing, incomplete. Down the far sideline looking for Max Hanna. Last week, or earlier in the season, I should say, against Burlington, Locker took off in punt formation, ran for a 1st down, but this time they try to throw it and can't get it. So Lynden takes over near midfield, leading 14-7 with 7:02 left to play in the half.
And I don't know about you, Chris, but I don't like that decision. I like the punt. I think I said it out loud. Good decision, punt it away, make Lynden field at about the 10-yard line. But in this case, you give the ball right back at the 50 after stopping them on 4th down, gaining a little momentum. Pretty risky, a roll of the dice down 7 against a potent offense to give them the ball back with a short field.
On 1st down, Lynden with Bolt pitching it out. Here comes their trickery. Cock throwing, and it's short for Brady Bomber down the left sideline.
Chaz Cock has gloves on, and he just didn't get a handle on this ball. We'll see if we get to get another look at it. They're very disappointed. They had a wide open opportunity for a score there. And that was a pretty good call from Crammy. Is they got the ball back on the fake on 4th down. You know, you think that the Ferndale Golden Eagles are a little bit deflated by not getting it, so you go for the home run ball. And he just didn't quite get his handle on it. I don't think it was tipped. It just fluttered up there well short of the intended receiver.
Now on 2nd and 10, option right, pitch out to Johnson. Good read by Ferndale. And that was Kyle Harbine, number 53, making the tackle from behind.
It's played very well. And how about number 22? That's Corbin Byers coming up to force the play a little bit. Harbine can make the play from behind. No gain, just back to the line of scrimmage. Here we get to see Bolt. He's 6'5". Yeah, he reads defensive end, pitches it back, and sure enough, Harbine from behind.
The Golden Eagles have kept the Lynden ground game pretty quiet tonight. Passing situation here, 3rd and 9, and a flag thrown by the linesman on the far side of the field. He comes running in.
I think there was a little bit of movement up front. Lynden.
Illegal procedure against the Lions. We're midway through the 2nd quarter. Lynden 14, Ferndale 7. Touchdown runs for the Lions by Landon Vandehoof and Chris Bolt. Casey Locker, an 8-yard touchdown run for the Golden Eagles. So now on 3rd and 14 from their own 47-yard line. 2 receivers set to each side. And Bolt takes the snap, drifts back, and a bullet over the head of Dirk Dallas. And now a punting situation. That was Bolt's first miss tonight.
Yeah, and he missed badly. I don't know if there was miscommunication there between quarterback and receiver, but I think you said it was intended for Dallas, but it was thrown in between Dallas and another receiver running a much deeper pattern. Neither one really with the chance to make the catch, and sure enough, we talked about Chris Bolt doing the extra point kicking. First time we get a chance to see him in the punt game. Sees the punter setting up about the 3rd one.
Yeah, that pass intended for Dallas almost ended up in Bellingham. A wobbler of a kick. Ferndale gonna let it hit. And it takes a Ferndale bounce, and now it dies at the 22-yard line. So Ferndale takes over trailing the Lions 14-7 with 5:42 left to go in the first half.
So sometimes in sports and in football in particular, you're very, very good, like Ferndale has been over the course of the last year and a half, and actually 2.5 years, dating back to 05 when they got to the finals. And sometimes you get lucky. In that exchange, they got a little lucky as they go for it on 4th down. They don't even come close to completing their pass, and their defense stands up and does a good job. Those fans that know Ferndale football tell me the heart of this team is their defense this year.
Jake Richard blocking and shouldering out the 35-yard line. A 12-yard gain by Jake Richard, and that is his best carry since that first one that took him 21 yards.
Not too fancy on that one, just a little cross action from the guard. The right guard coming over and taking out the defensive tackle, opens up a little hole. Going to see a fair amount of that pulling action. Again, any wing T team that you face in high school, you want to know where the ball is going, pay attention to the guards.
First down, Ferndale from their 34-yard line. 14-7 game. Casey Locker, the quarterback, across the 40 to the 42-yard line. A gain of 8 yards.
Casey's very impressive with his footwork. A lot of guys trying to tackle him down around his feet, and he just steps out of those tackles. Again, he's only 5'10". I'm told maybe a little shorter than that, but 170 pounds, and he's a strong runner. He eludes tacklers, and then he's not afraid to lower his shoulder and run someone over, and that's a pretty good option when you've got a quarterback that can pick up 7 yards on a first down.
Second down, 3, and the handoff to Brady Locker. Dallas misses. There goes Locker inside the 20, and he is gone. Brady Locker.
Wow.
58 yards, and it's a 14-13 game.
How about the speed from Big Brother? Gets it to the outside and out races. And what about the juke move he put on Dallas? I think Dirk thought that he had a better angle on the play, and he just gets left behind. After the PAT, we might get a chance to look at this, but Brady do that a ton last year.
Gable for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 4:24 left to go in the second quarter, and we're tied once again, 14 apiece.
So the quick strike action. Watch as he gets to the outside, and here's 47. Nothing but air, as I think Dirk just underestimated the speed that Brady had, as he really was untouched once he got past the line of scrimmage, carrying it into the end zone. And how about the lineage for the Locker side in that part of the family? You mentioned Jake, the cousin, but Casey and Brady's father, a terrific player. And one of those Lockers, I believe it's Pat Locker, still the all-time rushing leader at Western Washington University up here in the Bellingham area. In Bellingham, we're about, 12, 13 miles north of the Western campus.
Yeah, there have been a lot of Lockers. A lot of Lockers, and a couple of great brother combinations out there tonight. The Lockers, the Bombers.
There are a bunch of Bombers in the park, some younger ones, and a ton of Dallases as well. I mentioned Chris Bolt's father pointing out all the younger Dallases. One of them is injured tonight. That's Tate Dallas, number 6 for Lynden, who is on crutches and told that he's out for 6 months. But he has 2 younger brothers, a 7th grader with size 14 shoes. So they're growing big up here.
An up man takes the kickoff. That's Dirk trying to find his way, and he's down at the 29-yard line. So Lynden from their own 29 in a tie ball game. Plenty of time in the first half. 4:18 left to play in the second quarter in a 14-14 game.
Pretty clean game so far, too. Really not a whole lot of penalty flags or mistakes being made, and a lot of respect between these two communities. It's, if this were other places that I've been to on a Friday night, they would not allow the fans to roam from side to side. They would fence it off because they don't want one town mingling with the other. Not so much for, the town keeping them separated, but they didn't want anything breaking out in the stands. These two communities are very cordial to each other, and they have a heated rivalry. So great respect on this field and in the stands too.
1st and 10 from the 28. Bolt fakes the handoff, looking for Dallas deep. Now he checks his second receiver, going for Koch. Caught across midfield near the 30-yard line. What a catch by Koch. What a read by the quarterback, Chris Bolt.
There's the bolt of lightning. Out of the skies, he drops it into his 6'5" wide receiver, number 88, Chas Koch, running a very deep post pattern. Bolt looking right his whole way, and at the last moment looks back to the left. As Cock was running, you get to see him in the far left out there, and he just runs about a 30-yard post. You can see Bolt throws it from the 20.
Now lobbing one for Dallas, over his head and incomplete. That play to Cock went for 43 yards.
Yeah, and it flew about 43 yards in the air. They hit us with a quick one here. As we're looking at the replay, and most of the night they've taken their time in the offensive set looking at the sideline. They called it quick, but watch as he just flings it about 35 yards in the air. Not bad, right on the money. I thought Brady had a chance maybe to get his hands on that one. It's slightly underthrown, if you can believe it. But Cock is 6'5", goes up and wrestles it down. So we'll see what they do down here. Clock still not a factor.
2nd and 10 from the Ferndale 29. There's Johnson pinballing off Ferndale defenders. Inside 25-yard line, a gain of about 5. Steven Johnson carrying and setting up about a 3rd and 5.
Now they're moving a little quicker, not taking quite as much time, certainly not looking at the sideline so much. It's interesting to see if Bolt is actually calling the plays here, because they certainly aren't looking to the coaches.
3rd down and 4. Bolt takes the snap, quick throw, caught by Dallas, tackled on the spot.
That's not going to do it for the 1st down. It was about a 2-yard out. Let's see how many yards they move the sticks. Again, our vantage point on the 20-yard line to the left of our cameras here.
1 yard gain there, so it's 4th and 3, Gabe, from the 22.
Yeah, kind of an interesting route run, and it was purely by design. Quick little one. They call a timeout here, so we get to see it one more time. And Dallas just runs a 2-yard out and is tackled for just a gain of 1. And you roll the clock, so Lynden calls timeout. They want to talk about it and make sure they've got a good play dialed up here for 4th down and 3. Again, I like the athleticism of Chris Bolt. I'd probably run him to the outside, see if I can get him out on the edge, let him beat a defender one-on-one. When you've got an athlete with his ability, it's always a great strategy. Both teams settling in a little bit here, and defense are stiffening up, although the long touchdown run by Locker was pretty exciting. Things are just a little bit calmer and more methodical. They've popped each other a few times, kind of getting into a little bit more of a rhythm. Been a great game so far.
Chris Bolt chatting with head coach Kirk Cramey. Cramey in his 16th year at Lynden. Also a basketball referee. You'll see him inside the gyms come winter time.
Great histories, both of these programs, not only in football, but basketball and baseball as well. I'll tell you a little bit more about my personal history with Lynden.
4th and 3. You see the big crowd circling the field here at Raleigh DeCoster Field. And here we go on 4th down. They're going to throw for it, looking for Vanderhoof, and it's knocked away, incomplete. Ferndale holds, and they take over with 2:53 left to go in the 1st half. So the Ferndale defense coming up big when they need to here in the late stages of the 2nd quarter.
Again, another interesting call. The ball is thrown a very short pattern. If he had caught the ball, he would have been right at the sticks. But number 22, I think that's Corbin Byers again, breaks it up. In any case, Lynden turns the ball over, and a lot of time left for the quick strike offense of Ferndale. If they get another long run from one of the Locker boys, they're going into halftime with a lead.
Richard hit hard from the 21 line, hit from the right side by Landon Vanderhoof.
It's kind of interesting. I was watching the clock there, and it didn't start until after the tackle was made and the defender had gotten off of the running back, Richard. So little home cooking from Lynden to Ferndale. Little gift there.
A gain of just 1 yard for Richard. Nobody having really a spectacular night on the stat sheet, but it's been a great 14-14 tie. Casey Locker in trouble, and the Lions swallow him up. Clock running with 2:10 left to go in the half. Be interesting to see if Lynden,
yeah, I was going to say timeout.
There's a long 4th down to go here if they would take a timeout. See Casey Locker trying to push tacklers away, but then too many. A sea of green.
Both teams with the bright yellow headgear. Don't see that a whole lot anymore. The team I played for had a bright yellow helmet. Coach used to call it our yellow bonnets. Seen so many schools go to either the gold helmet or their dark color. green or blue in the case of Ferndale, but these two liking the yellow.
Quarterback keeper, but Locker can only get a couple when they need 7. Well, yeah, now Lynden takes a timeout with 1:22 left to go in the half, and Ferndale will send in the punt team. Well, I was over in the Lynden football office before the game tonight, and the Lions with those yellow helmets, they've got the kickers for good plays there. They've got the Lynden Lions logo on the other side. In the past, say 15, 16 years, they have had a number of different logos, and so they've got about maybe 8 or 10 helmets up there displayed with all the different logos they've had. And then you've got Ferndale on the other side with just the gold. No logo whatsoever.
Chris was mentioning the hospitality of the Lynden faithful here, the treats that we had out there in the tailgate section. After talking with Mr. Bolt, there he is, Chris's dad, for quite a while, I had to say thank you very much for the sandwich, thanks for the soda. I still am rooting for the other team because my career in high school ended on the turf of the Tacoma Dome against these Lynden Lions a long time ago, 1 game away from the state final. So curses to the Lions. Just kidding.
The punt away by Brady Locker. Dallas has it go over his shoulder, and it rolls all the way to the Lion 23-yard line. So Lynden with a long field here. They're going to have to go 77 yards, and they've got 1:12 to do it in a 14-14 tie.
Of course, Lynden made it to the state championship game a few years ago as a 3A school, and who did they lose to? The Bellevue Wolverines. A game that we actually brought up here with us tonight on DVD. We, meaning the Game Tapes crew, shoots these games for Comcast On Demand. That was Bellevue's first championship, I think, in their 4-year run.
3 receivers left for the Lions. 1st and 10, their own 23-yard line. 1:12 left to go in the half. Lynden now with no timeouts. That's Blair Bomber in motion. Bolt looking left. Lets it fly, caught by Brady Bomber, and he's pushed back shy of first down yardage by just a shade at the 32-yard line.
So they're going to hustle to the line of scrimmage here, see as many plays as they can run. They probably called 3 plays on the punt exchange and the timeout. They need to start running some patterns to the sideline so they can get out of bounds.
45 seconds left in the half. Bolt coming near side, and it is picked off. What a play by Casey Locker at the 39-yard line, cutting in front of Dallas.
Casey is a player. A sophomore who was one of the key cogs in last year's championship team as a freshman, showing his skill set as he just makes the dive, timing it perfectly and giving his team a chance to, with 42.5 seconds left here in the quarter, go up at halftime on Lynden's home turf. How about the interception from number 23?
42 seconds left, and Ferndale has all 3 timeouts, and he whistled for a false start here. That came on the far sideline. One of those receivers broke too soon. 14-14 game. It's been a great ball game, and you talked about Lynden losing to Bellevue. They lost back-to-back championship games to Bellevue, also lost in the semis within the last 5 years. And talk about the team of the 21st century. If there's the great interception by Casey Locker, best team of the 21st century, if not for Bellevue, it'd be Lynden.
Yeah, you know, great look at that pick there just a moment ago. How about the instincts, the football instincts to just time it? Chris Bolt does not throw a soft ball. That one was on rope, and Locker just steps in front of it, makes the pick. If this is not high school football, or you know, he could stand, get up and run, he could have gotten up and trotted into the end zone. It was that kind of play.
And not only that, but Ferndale was probably willing to give him that short pass. So with all that, he still picked it off. From the 44-yard line, now 1st and 15. Fake handoff, Casey drifting, now throwing. There's Brady, foot inbounds at the 28-yard line.
Well, you're seeing the total package from the Locker boys. Again, we talked about the smarts. Not so much their athleticism, but their smarts on that out pattern that Casey steps in front of. He knows that Bolt and the Lions are going to run a sideline pattern because they need to get out of bounds and save their last time out. So they got to run something to the sideline, so he jumps the route. And here, he waits and waits, and you get to see big brother, Brady, getting on the sideline, making sure he gets that 1 foot down, falling out of stopping the clock for them.
First down at the 28 after the 14-yard gain. Casey Locker just going to try to get a few up the middle. He makes it to the 26, and Ferndale takes their first timeout with 28 seconds left to go in the half. It's Lynden 14, Ferndale 14.
And this one may be a little bit more questionable. Maybe he's trying to get outside to throw the ball. Once that was bottled up, he decides to cut it back to the middle. In any case, Lynden finally stops him for short yardage. Second down and a long 8 situation. 28.5 seconds left here. 14-14 game, Chris. One of the most exciting games we've seen all year long. Just a great environment. I mean, this is what high school football is supposed to feel like. And we know one of the things I really love is that they allow the fans to ring the field next to the grass. So many stadiums we go to, the fans are a good, 20, 25 yards off of the field because of the track that dominates most every high school in the country. There's always the multi-purpose track. And here, but for right in front of the grandstands, there are fans that are down inside the 10, inside the 20, that are maybe 7 to 8 yards off the field. So just a great feeling of being enclosed by both the Ferndale faithful, there we go, see on the far side, and over here on our side, the Lynden fans are loving it. Big play here.
28 seconds left to go in the half, 2nd and 9. Brady Locker, nowhere to go, no gain. Ferndale takes another timeout. Now 22 seconds left to go in the half.
Interesting call there as well. I think maybe they'd run another passing situation or try to get Casey out on the edge, roll him out to his right where he has the decision to either run with it or throw it to maybe his brother dragging across the middle. Again, Casey doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's proven that he can be accurate with it in the shorter passing game. I'm looking for some play action here where he tries to get it to the outside, get out there on the far sideline where there's a lot of field, see if he can make a defender miss if he tries to pull it down and run for it, or look for him to find number 24 dragging across the middle. I would bet you a soda at halftime that they'll line up Brady Locker on our side on the left and run him across the middle of the field. But that's just my guess.
22 seconds left to go in the half. Ferndale still has a timeout left. From here, it would be about a 43-yard field goal. That'd be an extraordinary kick for a high schooler. So here come the Golden Eagles setting up for a 3rd and 8.
There's Brady, near side of the field, number 24.
Lined up in the wingback spot. Casey in trouble, looking deep for Brady, and it is knocked away at the last second. And a flag thrown, that's going to be against Ferndale, as Brady Locker shoved Brady Bomber after Bomber made a great play to get his hand in there and break up the pass.
I don't know that we're going to get a chance to see that because that happened kind of outside the field of play in the corner. And the first time we've seen a mental mistake, really, from any of the players on the field. Brady a little bit disappointed. He was going to try to roll out to the right. It was right about that. He lost it down in the corner. Just a little too long. Bomber steps in front, and at the very end, a little shove out of bounds.
That put Bomber in lane 1 on the running track.
He almost took out a couple of fans down there in the corner as well. And a big penalty. It's going to move Ferndale way back.
15 seconds left to go in the half. It's a 14-14 tie. Unsportsmanlike foul against Ferndale. So now they're at their own at the Lynden 41-yard line. It is 4th down now, and Ferndale takes their last time out. So 4th down, they need to get to the 18. So that's 23 for a first down.
Both teams get to talk about this. It's going to be an exciting play for sure. With no timeouts, you got to think you got to go to the end zone. Enough time actually to throw a pass, maybe a shorter pass down around the 15, try to get the first down, get the receiver to step out of bounds, give you enough time to run another play. Just got to think that they're going to try to dial up something special. Ferndale likes to pull some trickeration, as they say. So maybe a little double reverse with a throwback or something like that.
How about a hook and ladder?
Yeah, we might see something like that. So let's keep our eyes on all 11 white shirts, but it is 4th down, so they don't have to go for the touchdown necessarily, but they do have to pick up 23 yards. Scoreboard reading 3rd and 23, but of course the sticks on the far sideline reading 4th down.
And it is definitely 4th down because on the unsportsmanlike, that counted as a play. It was after the incomplete pass. So here we go on 4th down. Casey with time. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Still looking downfield. heading back toward the other side now. Still nobody open. Great coverage by the Lynden secondary. How long can they keep it up? Long enough as Locker goes down at the 45-yard line, and there's still 1.4 seconds left to half. What a crazy play.
Yeah, in a way, he bought himself a ton of time, but again, he doesn't have the type of arm that's going to necessarily throw it 45 yards, and he was back around midfield. So
and that's where the receivers made a mistake, because they were covered at the 10 and then just stood there and watched.
Yeah, they didn't really come back. They kept running laterally across the field as kind of shadowing him, but he was hoping the receiver would come back to the ball. Again, kind of a young mistake, but look at him scramble out to the right, and now one last play.
Last chance for the Lions. Bolt showing off his arm, and nobody there. And now it is halftime. But what a first half as the teams head off to the locker rooms here at Raleigh DeCoster Field in front of a capacity plus crowd. Both offenses, both defenses playing great. And we've got a 14-14 tie. It's Varsity Sports on Comcast On Demand.
Truth be told, you'll do whatever it takes. You'll go all out. Let's be honest. You live to compete and you love to win.
What time is it? Game time! Let's go. Let's do this right here, right now. Let's go.
But win or lose, you're stronger for playing the game.
Production assistance provided by GameTapes.com. Get all the action from Washington State basketball and football finals, past and present, on DVD at GameTapes.com. All the action, all the angles, GameTapes.com.
It is halftime at Lynden High School, and the score is 14-14, and we've got a capacity crowd here on homecoming night. Let's take a look at the first half numbers for Ferndale. On the ground, Corbin Byers, 2 carries for 5 yards. Casey Locker, 9 carries, 34 yards. Brady Locker, 3 times for 58 yards. Really all on one run, a 58-yard run in the first half. And Jake Richard carried it 7 times for 39 yards. Casey Locker passing, 3 out of 5 for 28 yards. The catches made by Brady Locker, who had 2 for 24. And Carl Trevenchek, 1 catch, 4 yards. For the Lynden Lions, Steven Johnson carried it 6 times, 19 yards. Landon Vanderhoof, the fullback, 3 runs for 22. Chris Bolt, the quarterback, kept it 4 times, gained 29 yards. Bolt passing, 7 out of 12, 96 yards. 3 grabs for Brady Bomber for 33 yards, 2 for Chaz Koch for 48. Landon Vanderhoof, 1 catch, 7 yards. And Dirk Dallas, 2 grabs for 17. It's been a great first half. We expect more fireworks in the second half. Gonna bring it to you coming up after this on Varsity Sports on Comcast On Demand. Enjoying this one? Yeah. It's a good game.
This season, Comcast On Demand brings you 2 great shows to help you get closer to your Huskies and Hawks. The Husky Hawks are back each week to provide pregame analysis and postgame commentary. Next, take your game to the pros with Warren Moon Show. Get Hall of Famer Warren Moon's take on the Hawks, the NFL, and even the Huskies, as he and Mike Gastineau go around the league each week. Your football fix with the Husky Hawks and the Warren Show, available free on demand only from Comcast Digital Cable.
Rubright just waiting for the go-ahead, and here he comes, puts his foot into it, and we're back to action. Kick fumbled and covered by Bomber at about the 20-yard line. So Lynden, the Lions coming up in a tie ball game. Over the football and under that beautiful half moon that you saw in the picture there. The Lions first down and 10 from their 20-yard line. Their touchdowns came quickly early in the ball game. Here's Brady Bomber getting crushed after a very short gain. Casey Locker on the tackle along with Jordan Krim. Second down 6 after the 4-yard gain. This one to Cock, and he's wrestled out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Opening minute, third quarter, 14-14 the score.
They come out throwing short passes here. We'll see if Chris Bolt dials it up and sends it deep. Really, it was only long, deep pass that was successful was the big one over the middle. Chaz Cock, number 88, lined up on the near side.
That one good for a first down. Now first and 10 from the 32. He's got Cock again. And again, pushed out of bounds by Brady Locker just across the 40-yard line. Nice pickup as the Ferndale defenders, the cornerbacks, had to give the Lynden receivers some room to work.
And again, it's Brady Locker lined up on Chaz Cock. And on the far side, it's Casey Locker lined up on Dallas. Now they bracket Chaz Cock. They bring another defender in his face.
And this pass incomplete on a second down play. Third down and a long 4 coming up.
So that time Bolt tries to send it out to the right side. Broken up nicely by Byers for Ferndale. But over here, as Lynden looks to the sideline looking for plays, it's number 80 for Ferndale. It's Andrew Holtze who comes over, and he and Brady Locker are bracketing number 88, Chaz Cock.
And now a flag thrown. So Lynden coming out dealing here in the second half. Nothing but passes. And now this third down play is going to get a little longer here after an illegal procedure call against the Lions. Now they're looking at a third and almost 10 to go. It was really a big penalty against Ferndale, an unsportsmanlike, near the end of the first half that really squashed their scoring chances, trying to break the tie. It's a 14-14 game. Bolt in the shotgun. On third and 10 from his own 32, looking deep. Now firing short and too low for a diving receiver over the middle. That was Brady Bomber. Coverage by Ferndale's Jordan Krim, and the Lions will have to send in the punt team.
And pressure by Ferndale's Carl Travenschek, one of the few starters back from last year's squad. Those of you watching that are Ferndale fans know that Carl cut off some of those locks. He had some flowing locks out the back of his helmet, long blonde hair. This year it's a little shorter. He got some nice pressure on Chris Bolt that time.
Bolt to punt, the Locker kids back, great punt. Casey takes it at the 24, Brady blocking. Casey cuts back toward the center, nice move there to the 40 and out to the 45-yard line. Casey Locker showing some moves, and Ferndale's got good field position at their own 45 with 10:52 left to go, third quarter in a tie game.
We talked about his instincts in the first half. He shows them to you one more time. Cutting it to the right, following his brother's lead, blocking. And then watch right here. He cuts it back against the grain, and watch the defenders as they just run right by him. He just cuts at the last moment. Even that full speed defender not able to bring him down. Such a smart, instinctual football player. More on that in a moment.
21-yard return by Casey, and now he takes it straight ahead. Nobody there to stop him. and it's a safety man, Dirk Dallas, who finally gets him at the 34-yard line.
And right on cue, when you're praising his football IQ, he lines up under center, sees that there's absolutely no one in the middle of the field, no one over center, so I'm just going to keep it. Takes off right in the middle, cuts it to the outside, picks up extra yardage, always fighting at the end. But one of my friends from Ferndale informed me that the Locker family says in terms of pure football player, smarts, and heart, they think Casey is the best of all of them. He's not the size that Jake brings to the table, but as far as football smarts, just a great player.
First down at the Lynden 33. Jake Richard gets the call, running between the tackles to the 26-yard line, a gain of 7. And Casey, not only an excellent football player, but last year as a freshman was the shortstop on the baseball team that made it all the way to state.
Yeah, very, very impressive athletes up here on both sides of the ball. And it's, again, a long, fabulous history at these two schools. And they're playing a great game tonight. Ferndale looking pretty good on this march. There's a timeout out on the field. Can't tell, Chris, if this is an equipment issue or one of the teams called timeout. No signal yet from the officials. I got to think it's equipment issue with Bomber. He's got his helmet off. Looks like he's working on an ear pad, and yeah, he comes to the sideline. That's number 20 for Lynden, the starting point guard and one of the defensive backs, Brady Bomber.
So Jess Cordice, number 22, in for him. Cordice, a junior, 5'11", 145. He'll play in the defensive backfield. Second down and 3 from the 26. Casey Locker again, and with that second push, may have enough for a first down.
And again, he lines up under center, sees that there's no one over his center, and just takes the ball right up the middle. Good enough for the first, as you said. So Casey, as we talked about, all of the talent that Ferndale lost from last year, about 90% of their offense. They lost Adam Wilgus, their star tailback, who had 18 touchdowns. They, of course, lost Jake Locker. They lost a couple of their wing backs. But this year, it's Casey and Brady carrying the load, and on this drive, it's been the Casey Locker show.
14-14 tie. Casey Locker again, the quarterback keeping, heading toward the corner, and he is in! And Ferndale takes the lead for the first time tonight. The Golden Eagles 20, the Lions 14.
So impressive. Just unbelievable instincts. He cuts it to the outside, sees that he's got a little bit of a lane, and watching on the replay in the shotgun, gets some nice blocking. Good fake to big brother Brady, and watch, just a little bit of an instinct, the hesitation, get it to the outside, turn it on, and he disappears into the fog at the far sideline. Another touchdown for Casey.
Olivo's extra point is good. Casey Locker, wearing number 23, scores on a 23-yard touchdown run. And remember, that was all set up by his great punt return that put him in good field position to start with.
Yeah, it's been the super sophomore in his show tonight with the interception, again showing his defensive ability. And now Lynden, I think, has to respond. We mentioned the momentum that kind of shifted in that second quarter. Ferndale sustained the opening round punch from the Lions, answered themselves, went into half. Teams had an opportunity late in the second quarter, but right now it was Lynden driving a little bit, but Ferndale gets the ball back, and they drive the length of the field, keyed by Casey Locker on that drive. I think he accounted for, what, 7 out of the 8 carries or 6 out of the 7 carries?
Probably. They gave it to Richard once, and I think that was it.
Yeah.
So his second touchdown tonight, and Lynden, after scoring on their first 2 drives, now has not put points on the board since late in the first quarter. Ferndale, 9 minutes left to go, third quarter. Chris Harper and Gabe Myers on Varsity Sports on Comcast On Demand. A short kick bounces in front of Blair Bomber, running laterally, trying to use his speed, but too many Golden Eagles in pursuit. And he goes down inside the 20-yard line.
He's got hung up a little bit. He was trying to get to that outside corner. An interesting play there as he let it bounce in front of him. A little dangerous because it hung up in the air quite a while, and that allowed the defenders to get downfield pretty quickly. But got to credit Ferndale for covering that one nicely. It's going to be a long field for Lynden. We mentioned in the first half, Chris, this game is all about the rivalry, all about bragging rights up here in Whatcom County. course, it has no bearing on these two teams' ability to go on to the state playoffs. One of these teams will most likely be crowned the league champion. It could be the 2A Lions or the 3A Golden Eagles, but they'll head their separate ways once it comes playoff time.
Lynden trailing for the first time tonight on 1st and 10, running option right. Pitch out to Johnson, and a good tackle by Corbin Byers. And if Byers hadn't gotten him, Kyle Harbine was right there to do the job himself. We talk about the teams going their separate ways come playoff time, but make no mistake, and none of these 5,000 fans have, this game means a lot. A league championship is a league championship no matter what.
Yeah, it's huge. It's kind of a strange thing, this reclassification and what it's done to some of the leagues, and this is probably the strangest, a league that has 1A, 2A, and 3A teams competing against each other during the regular season.
2nd and 8, Bolt trying to pass, pump fake, little lob, and it's in and out of the hands of Johnson. Yeah, the whole reclassification thing, I can't imagine a league that was more affected than the leagues up here in the Northwest.
Yeah, a few leagues changed pretty drastically. I'm thinking of the Seamount, which one entire division disappeared, and maybe the SPSL changed quite a bit, but this league, pretty radical changes. I kind of like what they've done. These schools are all close together anyway, and they still get to play each other. And you know, the regular season maybe doesn't count quite as much anymore as it used to, but it's still very, very competitive.
3rd and 8 from their 17. Bolt pressured, gets away, throws, caught by Cock, out of bounds at the 27 or so.
It's gonna be real close. Got to see some of Chris Bolt's athleticism there. Again, we talked a little bit to some of the coaches. Looks like he's a little short, 4th down and 2, I guess. So only a gain of 6. Thought that he might have had a good 7 or 8 yards, but he eludes the oncoming rush and throws a strike to the outside, but just a little short.
And only at the 23, so not as far as I thought. And so now Bolt back to punt. Waits it out, he's got time. And the kick, a low wobbler, non-returnable. Rolls all the way to the 28-yard line. And Ferndale, thankful that the Lions don't have AstroTurf or field turf here.
And Chris Bolt's going to be kicking himself when he watches this film session tomorrow morning, as most high schools do these days. They'll come back early tomorrow, maybe a little later since it's homecoming night, but they'll watch this footage. You saw on that punt, he hesitated just for a moment and kind of waited and watched. Ferndale was not coming after the punt block, and he had a lane right up the middle of the field. Easily could have walked for a 1st down. Did not want to do it so deep in his own territory, but he's going to look at that hole tomorrow and say, I should have run for it.
Ferndale from their own 27. Fake handoff. Now Brady Locker to the 33-yard line. Tackle made by Lynden's Kyle Gunst, number 84.
I wanted to finish a point that I didn't get out on the defensive side back there on the little screen pass that was blown up so nicely on 2nd down by Ferndale. Again, credit Mitchell Johnson for just reading that. So many times you see in the high school level, they read pass and they go flying in after the quarterback. He read it, peeled off from his defensive tackle position, and was the man that actually blew that play up. He's played a very good game, kind of an unheralded game. We haven't called his name a lot, but number 74 has been a key on both offense and defense for Ferndale. He's lined up at the right guard right now.
One of the few returning starters on 2nd and 5. Richard gets a few, not enough for the first, just across the 35-yard line. So 3rd and short coming up.
They ran right behind him that time. Shorter gain. And watch here is probably going to let Casey do his thing, or keep your eye on the ball, as these wing T quarterbacks are so tricky with their ball fakes. Probably going to fake to the first man through Richard and hit that wing back. Older brother Brady coming around from his side. They're on a 3rd down and 3. But if Lynden doesn't cover the center, if they don't put someone right over the middle and a middle linebacker, we've already seen Casey just take it right up the middle. Now they've got a nose guard right over center.
3rd down and 3. The motion man is Brady Locker. Casey going to try to take it up the middle, and with a stretch, makes it to the 40-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down.
So he saw what he liked anyway. They've shifted their defense, put a defender right over center, and he just kept the ball and kept those legs moving. And strong Locker legs pounding away, good for a 1st down. So Casey continuing to be the man for Ferndale.
They needed 3. Casey got them 4. First down at their own 39. Ferndale leads 21-14 midway through the third. Brady Locker knocked down after a gain of 2. With this rivalry so great. Back in the 50s, I understand that Ferndale's population started to grow. I'm told because of the opening of oil refineries. Ferndale moved up a classification in the mid-60s, and these teams didn't play football from the mid-60s all the way until 1993. And nobody forgot about the rivalry.
Well, they play each other every year now, and it is the big event of the season up here, as witnessed by this great crowd. I'm told last year at Ferndale was just off the chains.
Second down, 7 after the 3-yard gain. Casey Locker, good tackle made by Lynden's Kyle Gunst again, number 84. No gain on that one, and in fact, maybe even a slight loss on the play. Yes, a loss of 3, so third down and 10 coming up for the Eagles with 4:50 left to go in the third. 21-14 Ferndale.
Great job there by number 53 for Lynden as well. That's Taylor Creighton, the sophomore linebacker. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, and they tell me he's going to be a very good player. Already is. One of the starters out there from his middle linebacker position. He shot through and sort of blew that play up before it even had a chance to develop. Creighton's the man staring right into Casey's eyes right now.
Third and 10. Ferndale's up by 7. Let's see if they throw as a flag is thrown by the linesman on the far side.
Looked like Vanderhoof came across the line, but was he drawn? I don't know, number 23, I believe is, yes, Landon Vanderhoof. Haven't signaled yet, but they're gonna move this ball forward apparently, so offsides on the defense.
So maybe a new play coming for Ferndale. It turns 3rd and 10 into 3rd and 5. Or maybe not, they don't re-huddle. 2 receivers out to the right side. That's Goldbranson, number 5, and Hanna, number 33. In the far side hash mark. Quick pitch. Brady Locker working the short side of the field, and he picks his way toward the first down marker down at the 49-yard line.
A little short, I think, maybe a yard short. Decision time for Jamie Plankovich. He went for it in this same area before, so the shotgun snap, the quick pitch, and a little tough to tell from this angle, but look at the stretch. Again, the football smarts.
Well, it must be close because they've got an official timeout, and they're going to bring the chains out, and the ball is only a few feet off the sideline, and they've got each yard line marked here with the hash.
They need to get to the 49-yard line, and it looks like the ball is just nose of the ball right there, so going to be a big measurement here. So if they get the first down, then that decision that you have to make at midfield is obviously removed, and you keep the drive going. If you don't get it, I still think he's going to go for it. Up by a touchdown with Casey Locker really picking up yards at will when he lines up over center and just sneaks it. They're a little short, huh?
Oh, that's 1 inch.
Yeah. So decision time. The trot to the sideline. Offense stays on the field. And I think, should we wager another hot dog? Number 23, going to take the snap under center and just dive ahead.
See if Lynden does anything differently and puts extra help up the middle.
Yeah, a riverboat gambler would actually throw here. You know, midfield, when you're least expecting it and they think you're going to sneak the ball, line up Brady on the outside and let him just run a fly pattern. And I guarantee you'll find the defense sleeping. There's going to be 9 men in the box. So tight formation here from Ferndale. Brady's in the backfield, Casey under center. Nobody lined up out wide, and he's just going to sneak this one. Big play.
Could be the play of the game with 4 minutes left to go, third quarter. Ferndale leading by 7. 4th down and an inch. Casey, there he goes off left tackle for the first down.
So again,
it looked like he looked up and saw the pressure up the middle and took off left.
I was going to say, again, he just shows off his football smarts, his acumen, his ability to read the defense. Lines up, sees that there's 8 men right inside the box, and instead of just lowering his diminutive frame and trying to plow right up the middle, hesitates for a moment, springs to the outside. Instead of picking up 1 inch, picks up, what, 5 yards?
5-yard gain.
Very, very impressive stuff from number 23.
Now at the Lynden 46-yard line, first down, double handoff, Corbin Byers. working his way through the secondary and putting up a last-second fight before going down. Corbin Byers, only his third carry tonight, but he makes this one count.
Sense just a little bit of frustration starting to mount over here on the Lynden sidelines, not only from the players, but also the fans. A lot of fans now on their seats in the stands, sitting down the student section. Starting to look a little concerned as Ferndale is driving, and if they put up another touchdown, you know, really since that midway point of the second quarter, Lynden has not done a lot on offense.
Ferndale leading 21-14. Locker looking to throw for the first time in the second half. Instead keeps, gets a good block, and out of bounds he goes.
Big hit right there on the sidelines. You get to see a good look at Mr. Vanderhoof. Loses his hat on the play.
That's a first down for Ferndale.
Yeah, the fans like the hit, but Ferndale likes the first down. Casey Locker getting it done to the outside. Here we see he runs, and look at how patient he is. He's thinking about it. You know, I could always throw it again. Instead, I'll just lower my shoulder, and bam, nice collision. Somebody lost a ear pad or a mouthpiece, and it turned out to be Vanderhoof.
And Locker actually lost the ball on that play, but it went out of bounds. Now, the only thing on that play is it not true that Locker should have shifted the ball into his right arm?
Yeah, he should have, but I think he was showing that move where when you're the quarterback and you're out there on the edge and, you know, the defenders really kind of lose track of where the line of scrimmage is. When you play defensive back or linebacker, you're not focused so much on that, and you drop back, and then you see the quarterback coming at you. So many times we saw players like Steve Young in the NFL and Brett Favre, they'll give you that little flash where they put the ball up as if they're going to throw when they're 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive player, you sort of freeze for a minute. It looked like he was shifting hands, thinking about maybe giving that look, but he kept it in his left hand. So, yeah, so he's not perfect. He's still a sophomore. Guarantee you, by the time he's a senior, he'll be shifting that ball. But he's been very close to perfection tonight. Just a terrific job of managing the game, really. Not a prolific passer, but wow, so impressive with the ball in his hands, and they rely a lot on Casey. Brady's the older one, the senior, number 24, but it's the sophomore, Casey, who didn't really want to play quarterback, I'm told. Really liked his position at wide receiver last year, but has taken this one for the team, and I think he's found a position for a while.
Jake Richard on first down from the Lynden 29-yard line. Just a couple for him as the clock ticking away. 2:35 left to go, third quarter. 21-14, Ferndale. It was a 14-7 Lynden lead.
This is where this offense that's just so run-dominated can really start to hurt you as well, as every play takes a ton of time off the clock. And again, Lynden, a little frustration as their high-flying passing attack has not got it in gear in the way that they've wanted to. They need to get the ball back here and force a turnover.
Second down, 9. Casey Locker keeping, and you know, just when there's a late flag thrown in there, Vanderhoof made the tackle. Just when you think that play is going to go nowhere, somehow he springs ahead for another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, scored ability. Looks like he's going to be tackled.
There's a new ability.
Well, I heard it's always spurt ability in the basketball lexicon. I think that's a vitalism, where he talks about teams with their ability to go on these 7-0, 10-0, 11-0 scoring runs in hoops. And this time it's spurt ability as he just gets out there. Looks like he's going to be tackled at the last moment. Shifts gears and springs forward, falls forward for an extra 3 yards. Flag on the play, I think, was on Bomber, number 20, who's back on the field now that he's got his helmet situation solved, and that gives Ferndale some extra yardage.
A 5-yard face mask call gives him the first down. Richard on 1st and 10, tackled by Vanderhoof. That play started from the Lynden 14-yard line. Just over a minute left to go in the third quarter. Ferndale trying to add to their 7-point lead.
We'll get a good look at some of the Ferndale offensive players, again, taking all the time that they need. Get this play called properly. Nothing all that fancy. We really haven't seen anything that you did not expect from Ferndale. Solid game plan. We're going to let number 23 and number 24 primarily carry the load, and got to say, it has been very, very successful for them. They still have a very good offensive line. Got to give the group of players credit.
2nd and 8 from the 12. Casey Locker tackled by a trio of Lions, mainly Kyle Gunst and Aaron Maddox.
And I got to say, typically on a personal level, not my favorite brand of football, where the quarterback dominates the ball and runs virtually every play. But he's a fun player to watch. And so I'll give him passing grades, A- for style points. But, man, such an impressive sophomore.
17 carries, 97 yards for Casey Locker tonight. Under 30 seconds left to go, third quarter. It's 3rd and 7 from the 11. Locker hands it off to Brady Locker, sweeping right. He cuts back at just the right moment, and he is in for the score. Touchdown Ferndale, and they take a 27-14 lead.
So in case you had any doubts, the locker is full. Jake has moved on, but Brady and Casey just getting it done. And again, it's not so much their athleticism, but watch here. Such a smart player. Going right, and then the cut. I'm going to look back, make a move, get it into the end zone. Wow, one more time. Brady and Casey delivering for Ferndale.
And Olivo 4 for 4 in the extra point department. 15 seconds left to go, third quarter, and Ferndale now doubling up on Lynden, 28-14.
Yeah, we're in the danger zone here for the Lions. Been a while since they've seen anything real positive happen on the football field for them. Long halftime during the homecoming event where, you know, typically you're in the locker room for 15 minutes, you get in and out, you're back on the field. At homecoming, they stay in for 20 minutes, and they added another 3, and there was probably a couple more minutes. They probably didn't really do anything physically for about a full half hour, and whether that's affected them or not, I don't know, but certainly going behind by 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter, you've got to say that Ferndale, maybe with all that experience they've had over the last couple of years playing in big games and going to the championship, a lot of these young players for the Golden Eagles getting some experience, they've been able to handle the emotion of a game like this a little bit better than Lynden has. But this is going to be a great test for the Lions. See if they can answer.
Brady Bomber on the return. And Lynden will set up shop with 11 seconds left to go in the third. And now they're down by 14. Well, what they cannot do here is they can't panic and think that they have to get it all back in 2 minutes, because there's plenty of time left.
Yeah, and that's going to be an urge that they're going to have, because that's the type of offense they have, is they're sort of high-flying. They throw the ball around quite a bit, and they think that they've got all kinds of athletes that can make plays, which is all true, but they don't need to do it, as you say, in 2 or 3 plays. You know, they can take their time, still plenty of time to move the ball downfield. The important thing is that they do score.
First down at the 25. Bolt glanced right. Now he hits Vanderhoof out of the backfield. He turns the corner, and he's out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Nice play there. 18 yards.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get it all in one play, as really there was just one man to beat. Watch Vanderhoof swinging out of the backfield. Travenchek does a nice job of reading the play, but Vanderhoof just a little too fast, and but for that saving tackle, he'd be in the end zone right now, and we'd be talking about the momentum swinging back to the Lions, but you can feel the life being breathed into the Lynden fans.
After the 18-yard gain, first down from the 43. Bolt looking right side. He's got Dallas open, and he hits him right near the first down marker. Popped out of bounds by Casey Locker. And that'll end the third quarter, and the Lions, having struggled through the second and through the third, get a bit of a spark at the end of the third quarter, and so we go to the fourth. It is Ferndale 28, Lynden 14. It's Varsity Sports on Comcast On Demand.
Comcast Varsity Sports presents the Varsity News Gridiron Review. Every Wednesday night all season long, the Varsity News will bring you highlights from around the state. With plays and players of the week, TVN's Gridiron Review is the source for high school football coverage. The Varsity News is available to Comcast digital cable subscribers every Wednesday after 6 p.m. Follow all the action along the road to Tacoma on the Varsity News.
First down, Lions. They're on the uptick here. First down at the Ferndale 46-yard line. Chris Bolt 3 for 3 passing on this drive. Lynden down by 14. Fake handoff, Bolt keeping. Hopping his way through the Ferndale line. Nice gainer there inside the 40.
And there's something we haven't really seen since that first drive of the first quarter when Bolt scored, is the quarterback, the very talented and athletic quarterback, keeping it himself, finding a hole and going up the middle. Casey Locker's been so successful at it. Certainly an athlete the caliber of Chris Bolt can take advantage of some openings there.
7 yards, makes it 2nd down, 3. Handoff, Vanderhoof, nice tackle. That guy was knocked down on his fanny and reached up and made the tackle anyway. That was Kyle Harbine, number 53.
Now Harbine had taken on the blocker, and as you mentioned, just down on the field, looks up. Vanderhoof coming right at him, makes the tackle. Vanderhoof picks up the first down, more importantly for Lynden. So here we've got some shifting going on. Still 4 wide receivers in the set as they have stayed in this look all night long.
2 to each side, 1st down from the 36. Bolt keeps on the option, heads the other way, but good stay-at-home play by Mitchell Johnson, number 74. We call his name again.
Yeah, another very heady play from 74 as he reads the option going left, but instead of over pursuing, sticks around knowing that the quarterback has the chance to hold on to the ball. And I think Bolt may have wished that he would have kept going to the outside. He cuts it back and right into the arms of big number 74.
He gained 2, so it's 2nd and 8. Pump fake, sends it left side over to Vanderhoof. Skating through the Ferndale defense near the 1st down marker. 28-14, Ferndale leads, 10:34 left to go in the game. Chris Harper and Gabe Myers on Varsity Sports.
With all the offensive players looking over to the sideline to Coach Crammy, trying to see what he's going to dial up. They've mixed things up nicely on this drive with the passing and the running of Bolt and Vanderhoof. Got Dallas out here one-on-one against Casey Locker, and Locker already with 1 pick. Such a fun matchup out here. See if they go to Dallas.
On 1st down, Bolt looking right, sends his man deep. There's the long ball, and it is caught. Let's see if there's a flag. Caught by Dirk Dallas for the touchdown, and it looks like it's going to stand. And Lynden right back in this game. It's 28-20.
I lost my headgear there. I was trying to signal touchdown, and I was also trying to signal a little bit of a push.
I think he did push off. It was very close.
Ball was a little underthrown at the last minute. Number 47, Dallas gets away with it, wearing Michael Irvin's old number, the talented University of Miami wide receiver and Dallas Cowboy. Made that number famous for wide receivers in the late 80s, and we'll see if our camera down there on the far end caught up with it. Bolt hammers it through.
A key extra point is made. 10:15 left to go in the game, and it's a 7-point game once again. Ferndale 28, Lynden 21.
That got the fans back up on their feet. Just when we said that it was kind of slipping away and Ferndale had really grabbed this game by the throat, the Lions answer. So if nothing else, if they do stumble and don't win this game, at least they know that they've got the ability to bounce back up and answer. We'll see if our guys can dial up the replay as it was thrown into the far corner. It's kind of an out and up. Dallas sold it well. He's being double covered. He gets it to the corner. A little bit of contact between he and Casey Locker, and Dallas hauled it in. Good for 6. So Lynden with the answer, and still a ton of time. 10:15 left on the clock, Chris, here in the 4th. So if the Lions can play a little defense, get the ball back, they've got plenty of time to punch it in again and potentially tie this one up, or maybe go for 2.
And how about Chris Bolt on that drive? He was getting cold here on the sidelines. He was running the sidelines because the Lynden defense was on the field for so long. He was 5 for 5 passing on that drive for 67 yards.
Yeah, not bad at all. And we mentioned last year started as a safety. This year's not playing any defense.
Now the boot by Bolt. The Locker kids back there. Let's see if they go for the handoff. Brady Locker. No handoff here. Nice return. Tackle made by Lynden's Taylor Creighton.
Yeah, that's just too many yards. If you're a Lynden fan or one of the coaches of the special teams, you really love to see the ball kicked away from one of those two. But when you put both of them back there, it's kind of like choose your poison. Watches a short kick and really no coverage down there until he's all the way out near the 20. He runs hard and gets it out near the 30-yard line. They spotted it at the 29. So Watch for Ferndale to grind this one out.
They would love a time-consuming drive. 10 minutes left to go in the game. Casey Locker to the 40-yard line. That's a first down, 11-yard gain. And not only that, but after they move the chains, that clock will restart.
Yep, Lynden can't give up a touchdown here. Haven't seen Ferndale attempt a field goal yet, obviously. And if you gotta let them score, that's about all you can do. But if you give up 6, you're in big trouble. Although that last drive was pretty darn quick for the Lions. As I contradict
it was because they had
myself.
it with about 30 seconds or so left to go in the third, so about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, so they can score quickly, but they really need to get the ball back here. Shut this drive down.
First down from the 40. Hand off to Brady Locker. He spins for a few. 9:30 left to go in the ball game. 28-21 Ferndale.
More of those types of plays will really help the Lions. Of course, that's what's so dangerous about this Ferndale offense is they're content with running up the middle and picking up 2 or 3 yards because they know that they can fake the handoff to the dive man, give it to the wing back, most likely Brady coming around from his wing back position, or even more likely, especially tonight, keep it in the hands of Casey and let him get to the outside and just make decisions out there on the wing.
2-yard gain by Brady Locker on the last play. Now 2nd and 8. Here comes Brady again, trying to sweep right. Lynden strings him out and takes him down. Let's see where they mark his forward progress. And some extracurricular activities there at the end of the play, and penalty flags are thrown.
There's Brady Locker down on his back, and I don't know if someone was either taunting or maybe stepped on him, but it does not look good for Lynden. We'll see if they get penalized. Officials are talking about it still. It's a nice gain to the outside. Brady running hard, and it looked like just at the last moment a couple of players got tangled up. Offsetting.
So the play will stand. It was a dead ball foul. Ferndale ball near midfield. 8:44 left. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 now after the run by Brady Locker. Let's give him 6 yards there. He's got 87 on the night. Brother Casey, the quarterback, already at 108.
So right up the middle is what Casey's done, with the one exception with the time he bounces to the outside. Watch him here, offsides. A little false start action there from the offense. Got a little bit excited in that 3rd and 1 situation. Flags fly, and a huge, huge break for the Lions.
It's really interesting that Ferndale would get too excited on that because these 3rd and shorts have been money for them tonight.
Yeah.
No reason to be nervous. But that turns 3rd and 1 into 3rd and 6. Back at their own 44-yard line now. They have not passed here in the second half. Casey running, no intention of throwing here. Tackled short of the first down marker at the 48. They needed to get to the 50, and it looks like Ferndale is sending in the punt team, but will they kick it?
Yeah, gut churning time if you're the coach.
This was a very similar situation to that fake punt against Burlington. Very similar. I believe it was 4th quarter in a tight game.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have the guts to do it. I didn't like the call in the 1st quarter when they did it, and I still don't like it here.
If you're Lynden, I say you play for the run. And there's the kick. Dallas lets it hit, backs away, and Ferndale picks it up at the 21-yard line. So the Lions will go to work with 7:34 left to go in the ball game, and they're down by 7. 28-21 Ferndale.
Yeah, talk about setting the stage. It's almost if you script this one. It's been a perfect night of football. Gorgeous day in the northwest. Temperature up over 75 degrees. Great sunset, a view of Mount Baker, a beautiful half moon now, and a great game of football between two long-time rivals. Pretty well played game. 7 minutes and 34 seconds left. One team down. Homecoming night. Chance to drive and tie the game, or maybe win it on the 2-point conversion. Let's make a movie or a TV show.
From their 21 on first down. Bolt His arm's been on fire here in the fourth quarter. Throw in deep, looking for Bummer. Too deep, incomplete. Good coverage by Max Hanna. He was right there with him, actually slowing Bomber up as that pass went sailing by.
Bolt doesn't throw quite the tight spiral that you look for from some quarterbacks, but he's got a strong arm, gets it way downfield. It's a little too long, a little bit of a wobbler. He had good time there, nice protection up front for Chris. He'll stay in the shotgun.
Second down 10, 7:27 left to play. Lynden down by 7, Blair Bomber in motion, and they're gonna run option with him. Bolt fakes the pitch and keeps it for 3. I think they may have actually had something to the outside if he pitched it to Bomber.
Blair Bomber, the freshman, number 81, kind of looking slightly dejected. There was absolutely no one on him, assigned to him. Bolt decides to keep it and cuts it back up for a short gain, but interesting to see that one on film and see if he had the opportunity to pitch it. The wide receiver coming around.
Big play here, third down 7. Bolt looking for one man, that's Dallas, incomplete, no flag. Fourth down.
Good job there by Casey Locker, getting a low 5 from one of his defensive back cohorts as he redirected Dirk Dallas, number 47, the man who caught the touchdown against Casey in the end zone. Those two have had a pretty good battle tonight. And it's the subtle things that make Casey Locker so special. Dallas just running a little slant pattern. Locker punches him in the back and moves him off.
They need a good punt by Bolt, and they get it over the head of Brady Locker. Thinking about picking it up. Now he does. And can he make anything happen? Yes, he can. Down the far sideline, and a late flag thrown in there. And they could be moving this one 15 yards downfield, as Ferndale will take over with 6:38 left to go in the game, and the Golden Eagles have a 28-21 lead.
It's a tough play there as you're so eager to get down on the field, downfield, and make the play on the special teams, and it's right at the sideline. Sometimes you lose track of that chalk, white paint. Looks like probably a late hit out of bounds, going to move the ball forward against Lynden. Yep, they start moving backwards, so Ferndale going to start in pretty good field position here.
Oh, it was a 15-yard face mask against the Lions. So just a moment after they get the great punt by Bolt, and you thought it might roll dead near the 25-yard line or so. Now all of a sudden, Ferndale is at the 47, and they get the 42.
Well, one more time, 6 minutes, 38 seconds left. Lynden had the ball for 1 minute, did not get anything done going to the air. We've got to stiffen up here on defense, try to get the ball back one more time.
Casey Locker, after the fake, gives to Brady Locker, tackled by Dirk Dallas. Vanderhoof also in on the stop. And so Lynden passing by Bolt after going 5 for 5 on the touchdown drive. 0 for 2. And they go 3 and out, have to kick it away. That was a 5-yard gain by Brady Locker.
Clock continuing to run, getting close to 6 minutes. Time for the Lions to start slapping at the ball if they can. First man through, secure the ball carrier. Second man there, try to knock it away. Of course, Ferndale knows that too, and they're going to try to spin out of the arms of some of these tacklers.
Second down and 5. Casey Locker up the middle. Tackled at the 47.
Real tough to stop him, and he is real close to a first down. Very near that marker. First down indeed. The official signals the first. That one hurts. You've got to put Ferndale in a position where they might have to think about throwing. They'd love to get him to a 3rd and long situation. I seriously doubt they're going to put the ball up with a 7-point lead. But that time, Casey, again, running super strong for the super sophomore. Clock rolling down. They're going to snap this ball with about 5:15 left on the clock, Chris.
28-21, Ferndale leads. The 5-second warning given by the back judge. Handoff, Richard. Just a couple on first down.
Good job by Richard there to secure the ball with both hands. As again, these two teams are coached very, very well, but The young players in the Ferndale system get great coaching all the way down to their Pee-wee level and their flag football level. And puts both hands on the ball, knowing that those defenders are going to be slapping at it. Under 5 minutes now, 2nd down and 7. They've got to get a stop right here at the line of scrimmage and force that 3rd and long situation.
From the Lion 44, 2nd and 7. Ferndale with a 7-point lead. Just under 5 minutes to play. Casey Locker cutting back inside. And it's Luke Cordice making the tackle, but very close to a 1st down for Locker. They set it down at the 38. And it's going to be 3rd and a yard. And this really could be the ball game.
Yeah, this is it. The big, big 3rd and 1. What happened the last time Ferndale was in a 3rd and 1? They jumped off sides. They moved early. I don't think they're going to make that mistake twice. You know, it's the old adage, fool me once, shame on you. If we do it twice, they're really going to be kicking themselves. So Casey gets under center.
And the play clock ran out. It's going to be delay of game as the clock stops now with 3:54 left to go in the 4th quarter. And again, 2 mistakes in a row.
Wow,
by Ferndale, turning 3rd and 1 into 3rd and 6.
I've got to say, Chris, I had no sense of them taking too long.
Me neither.
I was just so enthralled with the setting here. Wasn't really paying so much attention to that. I did not see the hand go up, but that's another huge break on a 3rd and 1 situation to force it back to a 3rd and 6. So again, Lynden still alive. 3:54 on the clock. They have got to get a stop here and force perhaps another punt, although it's that area of the field where, you know, maybe they punt, maybe they go for it.
3rd and 6. Locker pitching out to Brady Locker. They're not going to get it. Ball loose. Lynden recovers. No, they're ruling that he was down. They're ruling that Locker was down first, or it would have been Lion ball at the 35.
Wow, I don't know about this call. I've got to say that it looked like he was still fighting forward all night long. What have we seen the Locker brothers do?
The squirt ability.
Fight for extra yardage, and they've given it to him all night long. Watch it here, and that ball is out. That is a fumble, and of course the officials do not have the luxury of seeing it on tape and seeing it like we do, but he was standing up. The ball came out. Lynden is ecstatic that they forced the 4th and 4 situation, and Ferndale is out on the field looking like they're going to punt. Watch the fake here, Chris. I think if you're Plankovich, you punt and make Lynden go the length of the field to tie. But wow, that was a fumble all the way, and Lynden had the ball.
And now the play clock runs out. Ferndale let it run out. A delay of game penalty will move it back to the 45-yard line. 3:07 left to go, and the Lion fans picking it up here at Raleigh DeCoster Field.
Yeah, finally, everybody in the stands back up on their feet, not just the student section. All the parents, the older brothers and sisters, grandma and grandpa here. Do all the businesses close on a Friday night when Ferndale and Lynden are playing? If you had to work the night shift at Safeway, do you think there's anybody in the store?
All right, will they kick it? Yes. A high, short kick. Dallas under it, and he makes the catch. No fair catch. Now a return, and he's tackled right away. A very dangerous return by Dirk Dallas. And they'll mark his progress at the 19-yard line. So it is 1st down and 81 for Lynden with 2:56 left. They're down by 7.
Dallas makes the right play there, catching the ball. You know, you don't want to let it bounce and roll down and die around the 2, but you've got to go fair catch here. A little bit dangerous. Gets a decent block, and then too much Ferndale special teams there. So 2:56 left, Chris. This has been a fun night of football. Can Lynden go home happy?
From their own 19-yard line. 1st down. They trail 28-21. 2:56 left. Bolt with a deep drop. Throwing near side, and it is in and out of the hands of Dirk Dallas at the 27-yard line. Casey Locker just a step behind on the coverage. That would have been a gain of about 7, but instead 2nd and 10 coming up.
And that is the same pass pattern that Casey stepped in front of and picked it right there on the sideline, the long out to number 47, Dallas. And we've seen these two go back and forth. Casey with 1 pick, Dirk with a touchdown in the corner. And maybe Dirk thought number 23 was going to flash in front of him, just bounced off his hands.
2nd and 10. Bolt connects with Koch. near the sideline, out of bounds. Clock stopped, but the clock is still running. The official had his hands over his head, waving that the clock should be stopped, I do believe.
And that is brutal when it happens to you at home. I mean, it's your home scorekeeper.
Let's see if we can see the official. Nope. Third down and 3, clock running, 2:22 left. Lynden has to be concerned about getting the first down here first from their own 27. They hand it off, Vanderhoof. First down and more to the 40-yard line, a 13-yard gain, 2:11 left to go in the game.
Well, they made the right decision there. The clock does keep moving, it stops to move the chains, and then they restarted at 2:11.
They snap it quickly. Ooh, a dangerous pass caught by Blair Bomber, the freshman at the 44, a 4-yard gain. Linden's got to start thinking about using timeouts here. Clock running with 1:55 left. Second down and 6. Bolt hands it off. Vanderhoof, and he can't get out of bounds. Corbin Byers pulls him down at the 47, a 3-yard gain, and now Lynden does take a timeout with 1:41 left.
Curious about that particular call. I know Vanderhoof is one of your featured backs, but sending him on the outside, kind of a stretch play there. I don't know if it was designed to go right up the middle on a quick hit, but that stretch play allows the defense to kind of string it out and react to it. Picks up positive yardage, sets up a 3rd and 3. Again, we're obviously in 4-down territory. Down by 7, a minute 41 left to play. Doesn't matter if you get the first down on 3rd or not, you're going for it. But I like what Bolt has been able to do on the short passing. I don't know if you take your chance here on 3rd and 3, Chris, and do that same thing that worked for the touchdown, fake the little out pass and go down the sidelines to Dallas. I think I might be tempted. It's Dallas out here on the far right, and this time they bring Brady Locker, and they bracket him again, number 80, the other defensive back. That's Holtze, number 80, Andrew Holtze. So 2 men on the outside on Dallas with only 1 man on the far left side with Koch. That's Casey Locker.
There's your double coverage right there on Dallas. Dallas checking back over to the bench along with Chris Bolt. 3rd and 3, Ferndale with a 7-point lead. And here's Lynden giving to Vanderhoof, and I don't think he got the first down. Across the 50, just barely. Yes, he did get the first down. First down, Lynden.
Yeah.
Big pick up there. The clock stops while they move the chains. 1:37 left. 28-21 Ferndale.
Chris, look at the middle of the field. Absolutely no one in the middle.
Bolt throwing left for Koch. He's a tall receiver, and he is out of bounds. Out of bounds. Very close. Very close. Lynden trying to use their size on that play.
Yeah.
Throwing a jump ball out for Chaz Koch.
Play happened a long ways away from us. Hard to tell if the defender pushed him out a little bit, but the call was definitely made right on the spot by the official. So he was out of bounds when he caught it. So again, I mentioned no one in the middle of the field. Let's see if Bolt looks to the far left and watches as maybe Dallas comes across the middle on a post pattern.
Or maybe the freshman Bomber. There he goes. Nope. Instead the pass to Vanderhoof, and not much gain. But Bomber, Blair Bomber, 81, did head toward the center of the field. And now the clock running, 1:15 left, and a timeout taken by Lynden. 1:15 left to go in the game. Lynden looking for, well, maybe the tying score, maybe even the winning score. They're down by 7.
Watch here as Bolt looks to his right, just swings it out there to the left. Again, I don't like that call because you're going sideline to sideline. You're not really going downfield, and it's easy for the defenders to run with you. Again, I know Vanderhoof is a talented tailback who can make people miss in the open field, but this is Ferndale. They tackle well. They're a very disciplined defense. You've got to look to go downfield a little bit, kind of dinking and dunking, and you don't want to take your chance on 3rd and 10 or 4th and 10 because then the ball game's over. I'd like to see them try to test that middle of the Ferndale defensive backfield. The 2 Locker brothers are outside playing cornerback on Koch and Dallas. You've got some younger, less experienced players in the middle of the field. I want to see a pass right down the middle. See if we run a post pattern here again with the freshman Bomber.
Youth on both sides on the inside. 3rd down and 10 from the 49, 1:15 left. Lynden down by 7. There goes Blair Bomber in motion, fake handoff. He's looking for Dallas, he's covered. Now he's in trouble, and Bolt is tackled at the 47-yard line, and the Lions are all over the field, spread out. Clock running with 1:03 left, and now 4th down and 13 to go.
Okay, Chris, here we go, ball game. Got to get the first. Don't have to fling it all the way downfield. We'll see if they're able to run a 14-yard pattern. What you don't want to see is a 7-yard out. Got to get it downfield.
45 seconds left. Fans going crazy on 4th and 13. Bolt over the middle, caught! Isn't enough for the first down. Dallas made the catch, first down Lynden. What a play on 4th and 13, 33 seconds left.
And that is Comcastic. You need 13 yards and you get 13 and a half, first down.
At the Ferndale 38-yard line. Clock running now, 30 seconds left to go in the game, and Lynden spikes it. It'll be 2nd down with 29 seconds left. And Gabe, on my score sheet, I have Lynden as having taken 2 timeouts, both recently. I can't remember any timeouts earlier in the half that were taken.
Yeah, they're wishing they had one of those timeouts back. They did a good job of spiking it there. Got to go downfield with the ball here. You can't throw it in the middle, unfortunately, any longer.
Lynden down by 7 from the 39. Bolt lobbing one, incomplete.
Ooh, if Casey had turned around and come back on that, that was a miscommunication there between Bolt and Dallas. It's thrown right in a very dangerous spot and not quite on the frozen rope that we've seen from Chris Bolt before. Hung up in the air a little bit, but Casey was running downfield, shadowing Dallas. So 25 seconds left in a 3rd down and 10 situation.
Lynden's top 2 receivers split to the right. 25 seconds left. The Lions down by 7 from the 38-yard line. Bolt throwing deep, looking for Dallas. Intercepted by Locker, and he goes down.
So there you go, number 23, showing you why the Ferndale faithful think that he is the best pure football player in terms of knowing what's happening. He spins around at the last moment, looks back for the ball. Ball is underthrown. You'd like to see a little bit more air on that one. Lynden faithful is going to really feel bad about this one. You know Chris Bolt's going to be disappointed. They were pretty good in their comeback effort, but not good enough to knock off the defending 3A state champion Ferndale Golden Eagles. They said this one was going to be for the league title. Both of these teams look pretty good as far as the playoffs go. But this one's going to go Ferndale's way. I'm going to head down and talk to Casey Locker, our Comcast on-demand varsity sports player of the game. How many times last year was Jake Locker the player of the game? And this year, it's the next wave of Lockers. Casey and Brady get it done. Clock is rolling, and that's it, Chris.
The final seconds tick away. Jubilation on the Ferndale sidelines. Before the season, Ferndale head coach Jamie Plenkovich said, saying we're defending state champs won't get us any wins. If we live in the past, we'll be disappointed. Well, the Golden Eagles definitely living in the present, and they come back to beat the Lynden Lions by a final score of 28-21, and they do it on the road at Raleigh-DeCoster. The teams line up and shake hands at midfield in a display of good sportsmanship that we see every Friday night at high school football around the state, part of what makes the game great. This was a great game, and Ferndale wins it. The final score, 28-21. We'll be back with the post game. Gabe will be on the field for an interview after this. It's Varsity Sports on Comcast On Demand.
Production assistance provided by GameTapes.com. Get all the action from Washington State basketball and football finals, past and present, on DVD at GameTapes.com. All the action, all the angles, GameTapes.com.
The Ferndale Golden Eagles celebrating a 28-21 win over the Lynden Lions here at Raleigh-DeCoster Field in Lynden. Let's go down to the field. Our Gabe Myers is with our player of the game, Ferndale's Casey Locker.
Back down here on the field is jubilation for the Ferndale Golden Eagles, something you're used to, beating Lynden. This time you do it on Linden's home field. It's got to feel good on homecoming night to make those guys go home a little disappointed.
Oh yeah, especially everyone thought that this might be the game we finally lose, and we came out, played well, and got the win.
So they got out to a pretty quick start on you. It looked like you sustained maybe their enthusiasm, their excitement over the homecoming game, the big rivalry game. You guys just sort of took the punch, came back, kind of hit him in the mouth there in the third quarter. How is it different for you this year playing a little quarterback, obviously handling the ball so much, got some big shoes to fill? Is that something you're getting used to?
Oh yeah, the first couple games I was a little overwhelmed. It's getting easier and easier, and I got some guys around me that make it easier. The line working hard and doing their job.
So you lost so much talent from last year's team. You got one goal in mind. Is that getting back to the playoffs and defending the state title, or are you really taking things game by game?
First we just won win league, and this was a big step, and now after league, we'd like to just play well in playoffs.
Okay, well, congratulations about the victory. We'll look to see you down the road to Tacoma. Once again, Casey Locker, the sophomore quarterback, is our Comcast player of the game.
All right, thanks, Gabe. And congratulations to Casey Locker and the Ferndale Golden Eagles. Casey finishing with 114 yards rushing tonight and 2 touchdowns, plus 2 interceptions, including the one to seal the win in the final seconds. Ferndale wins it by a score of 28-21. They win a key Northwest Conference game. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. And remember, every week we broadcast 4 high school football games and a couple girls volleyball games and the varsity news right here on Varsity Sports on Comcast On Demand. For Gabe Myers and our entire crew, I'm Chris Harper. Goodbye from Raleigh DeCoster Field in Lynden, where the Ferndale Golden Eagles defeated the Lynden Lions 28-21.